What's up, guys? This is Manoj Kaptani. I welcome you all on behalf of the Edupedia world. It's been a fantastic day outside, and I'm sure that you guys must be working really hard for your semi-final examinations. The exams are approaching, November is about to come, and certainly you guys must be like preparing very hard for your examinations. So just wanted to tell you guys, I'm proud of you guys. Just ensure you don't need to panic. Don't stress yourself out there. Just regularly revise the topics, and that's it. Each and everything can be taken care of well if in case you're retaining the concepts in your mind, making them from short-term memory to long-term memory. That's it. So all you need to do is just revise and understand the topics thoroughly. Guys, this is going to be the fifth video presentation relating to the topic of foreign exchange. By now, we have already covered our four video presentations in which we have discussed n number of topics. My last particular presentation was all about two major theories which are involved in exchange rate determination. In this particular video, I'll be concluding this topic of theories with the remaining two. So are we guys all set? Perfect, guys. Fasten up your seatbelts. We're about to take off with the first theory of the day, and that will be this, which is international Fischer effect. By now, we have already covered our purchasing power parity theory and Fischer effect. We'll be covering international Fischer effect and interest rate parity theory in this particular presentation. Let's go ahead with the first one, and which is the international Fischer effect. Guys, the Fischer effect, which was derived by Mr. Irving Fischer, it basically helped you understand one thing, which is that the normal interest required rate of return is basically a thing which is involving two kind of components. Number one, real required rate of return, and the inflation rate. So that is which was told by Irving Fischer. Now international Fischer effect is something which is altogether different from Fischer effect. Okay, and it says about a few things relating to two different countries. Okay, it simply makes you understand that what should be your forward rate. Okay, if supposedly today the spot rate is X, so what's gonna be the future spot rate? Okay, is it gonna be X plus 1 or is it gonna be X minus 1? That will be basically depending on the interest rates which are prevailing in two different countries. This is what international Fischer effect basically tells you. It's a theory which states that the future spot rate, it should move in an amount which is equal to but in the opposite direction from the differences in the interest rate between two countries. So what do we understand with this particular international Fischer effect? Let's understand it in a deeper way. I'll make you understand the same with an example. Let's suppose the interest rate over the next 1 year is 4% in US and 10% in India. Okay, so I would simply take into account the same kind of theory which I made you understand in my last presentation, which was relating to either purchasing power, or I could even get the reference of Fischer effect. So I can simply say that since the interest rate which is available over the next 1 year in US is 4% and India is 10%. Now since we are having a higher interest rate, certainly our currency is going to be depreciated. Our currency will depreciate against dollar by 6%. Why? Because our interest rate is greater in comparison with what US has got to offer. So this will be something which you'll understand in my later part of presentation, which is the interest rate parity theory. All you need to understand here in this particular international Fischer effect is that a future spot rate of a currency with higher interest rate would depreciate in the long run. Remember that. And the future spot rate of a currency with a lower interest rate, that would appreciate in the long run. That is what is happening in this particular example. So this is one such thing. Now you'll be like thinking about this thing, sir, why don't we get the benefit out of it? Why don't we go for an arbitrage benefit? We are knowing this fact that the interest rate which is available in US is merely 4%, and here in India it's 10%. So why are we really paying 10%, and why don't we go and obtain the loan directly from US? Sir, that can be done, right? No, baby. All you need to understand is one thing, that while you are going for this particular option of going for one country's interest rate in comparison with another one, you need to take into account the foreign exchange rate determination for future as well. This interest rate differential will be offset by the foreign exchange rate determination. The kind of payment that you'll be making in dollars today the same you'll have to pay in such a way wherein this particular thing will get offset, completely offset. I can simply clarify my point with an help of an example. Let's say, assume that the interest rate which is available in UK are higher, okay, in comparison with the one which is available in US. So what will happen? US investors will definitely invest in UK securities. They'll say we'll be like getting good amount of return, higher rates. Wow, let's go for it. But that must be rewarded, but with higher interest rate. But since I am telling you this particular stuff that the foreign forward rate determination will get impacted by it, the same will offset the benefit by the expected depreciation on that spot rate for pound when they will convert the principal and interest into dollar. In the last of the day, if I'll tell you something in the long run, this market inefficiency, if I'll talk about with respect to the interest rate of both these countries, that will get offset. And in the long run, all these inefficiencies will get swapped off. So you can take the benefit out of it for a like short period of time. Certainly you can. Okay, arbitrage is each and everywhere possible. But in the long run, certainly this effect will diminish in itself. This is what's being told with the international Fischer effect. It basically suggests that the currency's value will adjust in accordance with the differential in the interest rate between two countries. The rationale behind this particular theory is that if a particular currency exhibits a higher nominal interest rate, this may reflect a high anticipated inflation. And thus, this inflation will take place downward pressure on the currency's value when it's gonna be occurring. And the implication is very, very simple, guys, that the firm which is constantly like purchasing some kind of foreign treasury bills on an average kind of return in order to obtain a good return, the same will have to like offset with the kind of depreciation of that particular currency on the forward, or I should say future spot rate effect. In this particular case, this benefit of international Fisher effect will not hold. I hope I was able to make you understand this thing very clearly, guys, and I'm sure that now you are thorough with the international Fisher effect. So now you can simply teach it to your friends as well. That our sir has basically made us understand this international Fisher effect. Let's come on, I'll make you understand. Wow, let's go for it, guys. That should be the thing. Sharing is caring. Do educate people. Our motto is virtual education. That's it. I hope you are thorough with this particular concept. Let's move ahead with the next one, which is interest rate parity theory. Guys, this question was asked in a numerous kind of CA final attempts. I have just mentioned here one, which is CA final May 11. So guys, interest rate parity theory. Remember in my last presentation, I made you understand a beautiful topic, which was relating to purchasing power parity theory. What was that one aspect which we discussed in that particular theory? It was relating to inflation. Now, on the similar lines, if I'll ask you, all you need to do is just replace that inflation with interest. What will happen? Then purchasing power parity theory will become interest rate parity theory. Simple, guys. And that is what it's happening in this particular theory. So what does interest rate parity theory basically suggest? It simply says that your forward premium, or I should say the forward discount, as the case may be, on a particular currency of a country vis-a-vis the currency of another country, it will be like exactly offset by the interest rate differential of that country. In that particular purchasing power parity theory, it was offset by the inflation differential between the countries. Here, it's going to be offset by the interest rate differential between the countries. So, let's suppose I'll make you understand with an example, and which is the interest rate which is available in our country is, let's say, 6%. In US, it's merely 2%. The current exchange rate which is available in the market is $1 equivalent to 65 rupees. So what's going to happen in this particular case is, since our interest rate is higher as compared to the one which is being offered in US, so I can simply vouch out for this thing that in a longer run, be it your 2 months down the line, be it 4 months down the line, or 1 year down the line, our currency is going to be depreciated. Why? Because we are offering here the expected interest rate, which is the required rate of return as far as the interest rate is concerned, is far, far, far higher as compared to the one which is being offered in US. Since here it's 6% and in US it's 2%, and the current exchange rate available in the market is $1 equal to 65. In the longer period of time, it's gonna be maybe 67, 68, or maybe 69, depending on the kind of calculation which we can do. It's just an example. But the point that you need to understand here is that the forward premium which is going to be happening in the case of US currency, that will be like exactly offset by the interest rate differential. So what benefit you will be like getting once you'll be like going for an option of investing in Indian currency? You'll be like thinking about this thing. Indian market is going to provide us an interest rate of like 6%. So why should we invest in US market? Absolutely not, guys. The thing which is being told over here is that 6% the benefit of that 4% between the interest rate differential of both these countries, that will be offset by the appreciation of US currency. So even if you'll be like investing your money in Indian currency and you'll be thinking that we need to get the best of the returns in comparison with the US economy, still you'll be like you'll not be at a advantageous position. Why? Because US dollar will appreciate in future again. So this is what interest rate parity theory it suggests you up. This question was asked in CA final examination for May 11. The currency of the current country with lower interest rate is quoted at a forward premium. Here also I made you understand with an example. So US currency is going to be appreciated and it will run at a forward premium accordingly. So what can we drive in a nutshell with this particular theory? It's simple. According to interest rate parity principle, the forward premium on country vis-a-vis with that particular currency will be exactly offset by the interest rate differential. And the kind of spread, if I'll talk about between those two countries, between the forward rate and the spot rate, it should be like very equal but in the opposite direction. In a relatively free market, the currency with a higher interest rate would sell at a discount in the forward market. The currency with a lower interest rate would sell at a premium in the forward market. And in fact, I can simply say that the forward discount and premium is very, very, very closely related to the interest differential between these two currencies. This is what interest rate parity theory talks about. I hope I was able to make you understand this concept very clear with that particular example. Keep revising your topic. That is something which is very, very important. Let's move towards the another aspect of this particular theory, which says about the implications. Implications of IRP. If the domestic interest rates are lower than the foreign interest rate. In our example, it was higher, the last one. So now let's suppose our domestic interest rate is 2%, India's, and US is 6%. Then what's going to happen is the foreign currency, that is US one, that will trade at a forward discount. Why? Because US currency's interest rates are higher. So they will trade at a forward discount rate to offset any benefit which is arising on account of higher interest rate in a foreign currency to prevent any arbitrage. And exactly opposite will be the case which we just discussed. So if the domestic interest rates are more than the foreign interest rate, ours was 6%, theirs were 2%. So what's going to happen? Now our currency will be at discount and their currency will be at premium. Foreign currency will trade at a forward premium to offset any benefit of higher interest rate which is available in a domestic currency to prevent arbitrage. So every time you are thinking about this particular funda, just keep one basic concept in your mind, which is if in case you are thinking about investing into a particular country with higher interest rate, why? Because they are providing you some higher interest rate and you'll be like thinking, why don't we get better benefit out of it? Still, all you need to remember in your mind is the same benefit that you are getting while investing in a country which is providing you higher amount of interest, the same will be like offset by the exchange rate determination in future. So even if you'll get the benefit out of interest, you'll have to offset the same with the forward premium or forward discount in against with foreign currency. This was all about interest rate parity theory. In this is the formula for it. If in case you wish to derive it, it's a basic formula, it's a basic concept. I won't say it's a formula, it's a concept. Really, it's a concept which says that 1 plus rate of home currency, interest rate of home currency divided by 1 plus interest rate of foreign currency will be, that is the exchange rate. 1 plus exchange rate of home currency and 1 plus exchange rate of foreign currency will be equal to 1 plus interest rate of home currency divided by 1 plus interest rate of foreign currency. So which is very, very simple, guys. If the current scenario is, let's say, 65 rupees. So let's suppose the interest, the rate which is currently applicable to our economy is, let's say, $1 is equal to 65 rupees. Okay, the same has to be multiplied by the interest rate of home currency and the same has to be divided by the interest rate of foreign currency. And you'll get to know that if it's 65 here and 6% is the interest rate in India and 2% in US, that 65 will rise to maybe like 67, 68, 69, depending on that particular scenario. And this will simply say that the currency which is providing you the lower interest rate is going to be at a forward premium. So this was all about the formula relating to interest rate parity. The same can be applicable with respect to the taking care of forward premium and forward discount as well, which is going to be F, that is the forward spot rate or future rate basically, minus spot rate divided by spot rate into 360 divided by n. N is going to be the case which is applicable in your scenario, be it 3 months, 4 months, 6 months down the line, into 100, and you'll get to know the forward premium and forward discount. This is all about interest rate parity. With this particular topic, the entire four theories relating to exchange rate determination, be it your purchasing power parity theory, be it your Fischer effect, be it your international Fischer effect, and be it your interest rate parity theory, all of them stands completed. So I hope I was able to make you understand this concept very clear. If in case guys you have got any other complication with respect to these particular topics, or be it your any of your grievances with respect to any other topic, do let us know. Do write to us in the YouTube comment boxes. I would love to answer each one of your queries and grievances. Thank you on behalf of the Edupedia world. I'll see you in the next presentation with a lot more fascinating topics. If in case you have liked our video, do not forget to like, share and subscribe this video. Sharing is caring guys. Keep interacting. I would love to answer each one of you. Thank you. I'll see you in the next presentation. Till then, God bless you all. Sayonara. Bye.